You boys.
That's not a common trait of
No further links.
When people ask that question, am I the problem? I'll say, well, your biggest problem is you don't think like a narcissist. You're trying to apply common sense, healthy qualities to a very unhealthy person. And unfortunately, in relationships, the unhealthy person tends to be the one that's most dominant.
Right. And that makes sense. And I mean, hello, that's why they've got the power in these relationships and why victims feel just completely helpless in this, how things get flipped
Why is it not
and
showing the
twisted.
doggy?
We seem to kind of see this as, emotional immaturity. Where does this sort of shift into fixed relational patterns, do you think?
Well, let's go to
moved on his own.
Used a big word, the word power. Narcissistic people think in terms of power. Now, Lisa, if you and I were in a disagreement with each other and we were trying to talk it through, I would say, well, Lisa, here's what I was trying to convey, and you would say, well, this is what I had in mind, and this is what I heard. And as we would talk with each other, there would be no one-upmanship. There would be no need to say, well, you're always making assumptions. You're so stupid. There would be no insults or anything of that nature. There would be a real healthy exchange. It's like, I hadn't thought of things from your vantage point before, but let me get some good thought to it, and let's see if we can move forward. And there would be a sense of collegiality. How hard is that? And the answer is, with some folks, it's darn near impossible. They can't do that because we go back to that word power. It's like, to them, relationships are an opportunity to establish power. Immature people, they're so hungry for validation. And they need to be the most special person in the room. They want people to regale them. They want people to say, "Yeah, you make sense. I don't, but you do." And so that's how they think. So they're constantly in a game of one-upmanship with you, and you can walk away thinking, "Well, did I do something wrong, or have I offended this person?" And my answer is, well, the biggest problem that you did is you showed up. All you have to do with some folks is just show up, and you're already on the low end of that totem pole.
Yeah, you're wrong. That's just, you're wrong. I feel like the feeling of being in a relationship with someone like this is just walk into it knowing that at any point you're wrong. They're right. They have the power. They know what's best. You don't.
You're not me, therefore.
Yeah, you're immediately lower. Like, that's the superiority that's just right in your face.
And then in the meantime, when you try to talk to that person about, let's go back, we have a disagreement, along with their power moves, I'm going to use the word defensive, but that's not a strong enough word. It's like they're hiding behind this big, thick fortress of excuses and all. They won't be able to receive input. If someone were to say, Les, I felt like you were insensitive in the way that you spoke to me, in my conscientiousness, I could think, well, that's certainly not the way I would want to come across. Help me understand what prompted you to make that interpretation. Okay.
All right, very educational. But we are done, so chat. No further links, Your Honor. No further links. We got a playthrough to resume. Let's see here. Can we get rid of this? Oh, come on, man.
That ghost get me just because you're both so cheap.
No.
You don't want to go?
Of course
I already said no further links. Stop silent linking. Fuckers.
www. YouTube. Come watch.